Hey guys, how's it going? Brandon here, welcome back to another Pokemon team build-up for you guys. Today, we are finishing off Generation 2 with the stages of Chikorita, Bayleef, and Meganium. Possibly the hardest team to probably build around for Generation 2. We're going to give it a go. Of course, before the video gets underway, quick disclaimer to say that this is opinion-based. If you want to change things about the team, I know a lot of you are going to have your opinions on this team because it's such a interesting one to build around. So definitely make sure to let me know your opinions in the comment section below. Like I said, if you want to change anything, then by all means go ahead and do so. Without further ado, ladies and gents, let's get into this. So many of you guys in the comment section below always ask me, what about HMs? You know, what about cut? What about strength? Like, you shouldn't, this is my opinion, you shouldn't be using cut and rock smash on your Pokemon, on your main game Pokemon. That's what HM slaves are for. This is why we get them. You should only be pretty much using Surf, Waterfall, and Fly, in my opinion. Maybe Strength at a push if you're using a normal type and it doesn't get better moves. But HM slaves are there to help you get through the game. Just put in and out of the box when you need them. For this game, we have Sentret with Cut and Headbutt. I'll explain Headbutt in a bit. Tentacle, we have Surf. Just till you get up to the Gyarados. Now for me, you don't have to use the shiny Gyarados. I personally do because so many people use it in game. So I thought I'd just go, fuck it, I'm going to use the complete opposite and go with the shiny Gyarados as my HM slave. But it works perfectly. You can learn Surf, Rock Smash, Strength, and Whirlpool. It just works perfectly for it. I know Headbutt isn't a HM. Some people had to go at me, you know, Headbutt's not a HM. Yeah, I'll explain why you're going to want Sentret with Headbutt as well. It's just there to have it. I know it's not a HM, but it's just there. I'll explain why in a bit. But those are the HM slaves for these game guys. If you have any other HM slaves that you use for different games, make sure to let me know again in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's get on with this team. On to the first Pokemon. Of course, we have the starter of the game, which if you guys didn't know we're here, is of course Meganium. Now, there are so many different ways people like to use Meganium in-game. I've seen physical sets, I've seen special sets, I've seen mixed. Me, personally, I like to go with a little bit of a stally set. And this is odd for me because I'm always, and always have been, a very aggressive player when it comes to Pokemon. I've always been all out attack, let's just fucking go, go, go. More competitive side as me has come more as I've done more competitive battling over the years. And with this one, I decided to go for a different take on it. And seeing Meganium stats, I thought, fuck it, why not? You look at these stats. Don't know why Meganium is put down so much. Nothing is below 80. Nothing. HP 80, speed 80, yeah, that's still very good and average. Special attack 83, that modest nature is going to boost up, even its attack stat is 82. That's why people some run mix, because its attack and special attack are so close together. But then you got the defenses, which are both base 100. So that's why the energy ball for stab, toxic synthesis protect works so well. You can stall out entire teams, the Elite Four, anyone with this set. Some people might want to change up Energy Ball for Giga Drain for more HP purposes, but I've got the Synthesis there just to get HP. You can tank a hit. You can even run different natures to be physically defensive, or specially defensive. It's completely up to you, but for me, I ran Energy Ball, Toxic, Synthesis, Protect. It worked perfectly. I completely Toxic stalled, I can't remember his name in the Elite Four. I can never remember that. I Toxic stalled one of the Elite Four members with Meganium. It was absolutely hilarious because he could not do anything and it was brilliant. But that is the Meganium set, you guys. Of course, Chikorita, Bayleef, Meganium, 16 to 32. Great Pokemon. People so put it down early game because it is hard to use early game because of the first two gyms. Once you get into the game, Meganium really becomes an asset to the team. It's a really good start. People shouldn't put it down. It's the first team member, Meganium. On to the second team member, you guys. We have Crobat. In my opinion, a very underrated Pokemon. Now, for me, you get Crobat at the beginning of the game. You can get it before the first gym, which of course is going to help you get past the first gym. The hardest part about this team, I'd say, is getting past the first gym. And normally, of course, if you haven't seen the other team builders, my flying type of the team was Dragonite. Now, if I still went with that same thing and had Dragonite, with this team, we wouldn't have had anything till after the second gym, which is pretty much going to be stupidly impossible because the first two gyms are obviously Flying and Bug, which Meganium isn't going to be able to do, or Chikorita and Bayleef isn't going to be able to do by itself. So I had to think logically, what we're going to go for, we're going to go for it. Fuck it. A great Pokemon in Crobat. This thing is great, physically offensive, and it's super quick with that base 130 speed. Moveset Cross Poison, Fly, U-Turn, Roost. Cross Poison is a tutor move, so you will have to go find a Heart Scale and relearn it. Once you get a Crobat, you can go and relearn Cross Poison. Great physically poison move. Of course, Fly there, Stab, U-Turn. This thing is super quick, so if you lead with it and it's not a good offensive, you can U-Turn out into something, and obviously Roost for recovery, just in case you need it. Adamant Nature. Again, stat-wise, this thing is great. Its lowest stat is 70 at special attack. We're running a physical attacker. That stat doesn't mean nothing. Special defense 80, defense 80, hit points 85. This thing can take a hit if it wants to. Adamant Nature, boost up that base 90 attack as well. Already got a base 130 speed. This thing is definitely underrated in my opinion. It hits hard, it does well, it will help you in the first gym. In the first gym, if you want to pick up a Reap or a Flaffy or whatever just to help you a little bit more, then by all means go ahead. But guarantee you that you probably should have a Golbat by Bugsy, so that Golbat should be able to absolutely destroy, and I mean destroy Bugsy with the stat. You should probably have Wing Attack by then. It should just run through everything in that gym. And obviously Crobat, it's a great Pokemon. If you haven't used a Crobat after the special and physical split, I highly recommend you do so, because I guarantee you it will surprise you. A lot of people put it down because everyone was like, oh, you get Zubat all the time. Honestly, swear to God, try and use a Crobat and see how well it does for you. It did amazing for me in this team builder. It's the second team member, it's Crobat. Moving on to the third team member, you guys, we have Heracross. Now, one of the main things that people complain about in Generation 2 is, of course, Whitney. What about Whitney's Miltank? Ladies and gentlemen, problem solved with Heracross. And this is where we're going back to the centric you have with Cut and Headbutt. You're going to need Headbutt to be able to get Heracross in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Now, in the video you're seeing is actually me get it in the Pokemon Garden. That's simply because I couldn't, for some reason, for the life of me, searching it for over an hour, couldn't find it in the certain trees. But that maybe was because I was playing Sacred Gold and Storm Silver, the hack version by Drano. But I know for a fact that in game you can actually get it on the route after coming out of Union Cave, I believe, just before Azalea Town. You can headbutt a tree there and a Heracross will appear. But of course you don't get headbutt until you go into the forest, which is after Bugsy. But you'll get this thing before Whitney, and it will learn Brick Break and it will run House. This thing is amazing. I've got an Adamant Nature with a Mega Horn, Brick Break, Stone Edge, Shadow Claw. A lot of coverage there. Stone Edge for flying types, Mega Horn, Brick Break, Stab, and Shadow Claw, because just why not? It's just a move to have there. High crit ratio, obviously good physical attack as well. Base 125 attack. High attack, low special attack. You're not going to worry on special attack. You're not going to want to run a special Heracross ever. 85 speed is decent. It's going to be outspeeded most of the game. 95 special defense, surprisingly good, especially defensive. 80 HP, 75 defense. They're still in the middle green. They're still average, so it's a great Pokemon. If you haven't used a Heracross in game, highly recommend that you guys go ahead and do so. It will surprise you so much, and it will be a valid and very good team member for you. The entire game will get you out of a very secure situations. You can actually get Shadow Fall before Morty as well, so you can actually run through Morty with Heracross just like I did. It's a great Pokemon, highly recommend you use it. It's the third team member, it's Heracross. Now onto the fourth team member, ladies and gents, we have Ninetales. Now of course I'm going to say straight away, yes, Ninetales in Heart Gold Soul Silver is a version exclusive. I can't remember what to one. The other counterpart is Arcanine, so definitely go with Ninetales or Arcanine. Just when in the game I was playing, say Gold and Storm Silver, you have the opportunity to get both of them. I go with Ninetales, of course. If you're playing the other game, then get Arcanine and use. I think the moveset I go for is Flare Blitz, Crunch, Extreme Speed, and I can't remember the last move. There's one more move that I go with it, but let's talk about Ninetales. Probably the most elegant and beautiful looking fire type out of all of them in my opinion. Love Ninetales, always have high speed, high special defense. Again, another surprisingly specially defensive mon with 100 base special defense, 100 base speed. This thing is quick. 81 special attack. Modest Nature will boost that up. Of course, you're not going to be running physical. Defense and HP 75 and 73. Again, they're in the green. They're in the average part of the stats. But Modest Nature with Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, Extra Sensory, and Nasty Plot. You can get up a Nasty Plot and you can sweep teams. Dark Pulse is there just for coverage. Extra Sensory is there just for coverage, just in case you want a high special attacking moves that you can use. Flamethrower, of course, is Stab. Some people might want to run Fire Blast. I like Flamethrower simply because it's a 90 base move, 100% accuracy. You can't really go wrong with it. It's just great to have there. Of course, you're going to need a Firestone, of course, to evolve either Growlithe or Vulpix into Ninetales, so this will make sure you find your Firestone. But it can be found. It's a great Pokemon. High speed, like I said, high special attacker. It's just going to be a great fire type for you to use throughout the game, and it's just going to come in handy. If you're going to set up a couple of nasty plots and sweep a team, by all means go ahead and do so. I did a couple of teams. I think I was able to sweep the rival actually with Ninetales after I set up a couple of nasty plots in its first Pokemon and just absolutely annihilated everything. So it will surprise you if you haven't used one already. Like I said, with all these Pokemon, go ahead and do so. They will surprise you on how underrated and underused some of them are. But it's a great Pokemon. I love him. It's the fourth team member. It's Ninetales. On to the 5th team member. I'd like to say it's a controversial one. A lot of people were having at me in the Typhlosion team builder for using Lantern. Oh, look at those! It's got 3 of its stats in the lighter color. Its stats are terrible. This thing is an amazing in-game Pokemon, and the reason behind it is its typing. Because of only being weak to ground and grass, Lantern is going to be able to do so much for you. 125 base HP. This thing can take a hit. People are like, oh, it's 58 defense, it can't take a hit. It can. I swear to God it can. With its lowered speed, again, it's not the quickest Pokemon. With the modest nature, you're going to boost up those attacks with Surf, Thunderbolt, Signal Beam, Ice Beam. They're very high base powered moves. This thing is going to be doing a lot of damage. Obviously, the Ice covers the grass types as well. Signal Beam just for there. Thunderbolt and Surf, 2 very high base stab moves that are going to be doing a lot of damage for you. And they're going to be doing a lot of work. I like to see, honestly, I want to say to you guys, please try out Lantern in-game. I tried using him in a competitive league once and he did some work for me. Bulked some hits and he took out some big threats. Honestly, use one in-game, it will surprise the hell out of you on how good it is. I know there's so many water types that people can go with, and if you want to go with any of the other water types, then go ahead and do so. Me, I liked Lantern. It does the job really well. It will surprise you. Its typing is unique and it's great and I love him. Just please go out and use it if you haven't already, because honestly, it surprised me as well. First time I ever used it, I was shocked on how well it did in game. It's the 5th team member, you guys. Go ahead and use it, Lantern. On to Pokemon number 6, and you guys probably saw this coming. A lot of people were like, keep having a go at me in certain different areas, different videos, saying, oh, you used the same Pokemon out in different teams. It's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If this Pokemon works well, then why not use it again? Jinx for me, every single time I've gone for a game, or not every single time of course, but ever since I've started using it in Gen 2, especially with these team builders, this thing swept Claire and Lance by itself. Both times. And Claire, sometimes if you're not prepared, can be absolutely horrible. Her Kingdra is a bastard, but I set up those Calm Minds and blizzard the fucking thing away. Psychic. You can even Psychic. I don't know if I calculated it, but I think a Psychic would have even killed by how many Calm Minds I was able to set up. Shadow Ball for coverage. Blizzard. Stab. Obviously a lot of people are like, oh, Blizzard's going to miss. Yes, I know, I have Ice Beam on Lantern, and in the first one, when I didn't use Lantern, I had Ice Beam on it. Yeah, if you don't want to put Ice Beam, if you want to put Blizzard on Lantern and Ice Beam on Jinx because it works better, then go ahead and do so. I thought the more powerful move on Stab Jinx would work, and to be fair, yeah, you will miss a few, and it is a little bit risky with its defenses, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to be absolutely fine with it. Obviously, it's, again, another Pokemon with 3 stats in the lower green. Defense, yeah, it can't take a physical attack to save its life. Attack, you're not going to worry about attack. You're not running Physical Jinx at all. HP 65 is not great. 95 special defense. That's not terrible. It can take a special attack if it wants to. It depends on the Pokemon and if it's super effective or what. Speed 95. It's going to outspeed a lot of things, being nearly 100 base speed. 115 base special attack is the reason why this thing is so good and sweeps in-game. What people need to remember about these team builders is they're in-game teams. You're probably going to be over-leveled or maybe even a little under-leveled if you want a bit of challenge. So certain things are going to happen. Not everyone is on an equal playing field in terms of level and IVs and EVs and different things like that. That's why it's in-game and so many different aspects come into it, and why just using certain Pokemon in-game works well. And Jinx is one of them. Please, if you haven't already, with this team, try this team out. It will surprise the fuck out of you. I swear to God, it's really hard. For me, Gen 2 so far has been the hardest generation to team build for. Even harder than Gen 1. You guys know I'm not the best when it comes to Gen 1. But even Gen 2 for me was harder. And I've played a lot of Gen 2. And even it was difficult for me. And I've been playing Pokemon for over 10 years now. So, try this team out. See what you think. Jinx is the final team member. It's great. Go ahead and use it. Like I said, final team member is Jinx. So there you have it, guys. Those are our 6 team members for this Meganium team builder. Meganium, Crobat, Heracross, Ninetales, Lantern, and Jinx. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Of course, if you want to change anything about the team, go ahead and do so, but make sure you let me know in the comment section below what you did. Like I said, just about Jinx, Gen 2 for me was very difficult to team build around. It's probably why these team builders took a little bit of time to get out, because I needed to think of the team. I needed to obviously go through the game with it and make sure it worked properly. And this one didn't disappoint. It was very difficult. It's probably, I'd say it was the hardest going through Gen 2 out of all three, simply because of the start of the game with Meganium. Once you get the team together and once it starts to all fold and unravel, it is a team to be reckoned with, because you've got Meganium stall and you've got some very hard attackers and some very hard special attackers. It will do the job well and it will help you out. If you're new to the game, just give it a go. Let me know what you think. If certain aspects didn't work for you or you struggled at certain parts of the game, just let me know. I'll tell you what happened with me during that period of the game, or maybe I got lucky with a crit every now and again. I'm not sure, but definitely make sure to try the team out, or let me know your teams in the comment section below. Like I said, I thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out more team builders and different games, definitely make sure to check out the channel. There should be a playlist in the description of all the team builders, all different generations of team builders, since we changed up the channel a little bit. Like I said, if you're new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're nearing 3,000 subscribers at the moment, which is absolutely incredible. I'd like to hit that by the end of the month. It'd be an amazing birthday present for me. Like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!